Hello. This morning I was playing around with makeup and waiting on a client who just canceled. So I have some extra time and I thought I would speak a little bit about menopause and depression. Now, I'm like everybody else, always on Google, on YouTube, looking for information, looking for entertainment. Anyway, I've been looking for information on those two topics, menopause and depression, not necessarily together at first. I was just looking for stuff on menopause because I am going through menopause and I am thrilled about it. I looked forward to menopause maybe more than people usually do. But I don't see getting older as a bad thing. I often say I prefer to get old than to die young, so it doesn't really bother me. But I couldn't find anything that resonated with me when I would read or I would watch all the videos with mostly doctors speaking about menopause and what to expect and what would happen. I mean, I did see some things that was very helpful, but I didn't get this. I didn't get the connection with depression. And I I think if I'd found it, it would have helped me. I would have felt better because knowledge is important. And now that I'm feeling better with that knowledge, I want to share it. Maybe somebody else would get the information and would feel better. So I want to talk about what I feel, what I have been feeling. I have been sad. I have been so sad. It's been a struggle to get through a day without crying. I don't think I have gone through a day in recent times without tears. It has just been hard. And for the most part, I would justify it, but then it would be weird and I wouldn't really understand it. And then I would say, well, there's so much going on, or there's COVID happening, and you're not working, and you don't have what you would like, and it's Christmas, and you try to justify everything. But even though I did justify my sad feelings. My feelings were just too sad, if that makes sense. I started having some anxiety attacks. I couldn't breathe, and I would say it's because I wear masks so much or the face shields that my lungs are impacted. You know, justifying everything that happened to me. But the depression, man, the depression. I would struggle to exercise. Now, if you watch any of the videos on my YouTube channel, I love to exercise. I'm a personal trainer. I enjoy fitness. I enjoy challenging myself, lifting heavy, doing complicated moves. I love fitness, but of late, it has been so hard to train. I mean, I haven't stopped, but okay, sometimes I wouldn't do a complete workout because it's just, I'm so depressed and I can't go on. I don't want to exercise. I don't want to do the things that I normally like. I love Christmas. Love it. Love it. I mean, it's my birthday, but apart from that, I love it, love it, love it. And this year, I actually told my daughter we're not doing Christmas this year. And she was like, Mommy, how can we not do Christmas? But there was no joy in anything. I just was sad. I mean, I am doing Christmas, yeah? It's just taking me longer than it normally would because things are not the same. And yes, things are harder with the introduction of this pandemic, but I'm different. I'm sad. I'm sad a lot. And I made some notes so I would remember everything I want to talk about. But the things that I used to like, didn't like. I don't like. I can't say I didn't like it's in the past because it's happening now. I'm going through this now. And I struggle mostly with exercise because that's the real joy in my life. But I just didn't enjoy anything. And then the things that I didn't like before, now there were enormous black holes where death sounded better. And I'm not even exaggerating. If I'm supposed to do something or asked to do something that is something that I don't like to do normally, now I just wish I was dead instead of having to do it. Actually, my sadness was like on another level. My sadness, I was sad on steroids. Just really sad and depressed all the time and not enjoying anything. I remember there was a day recently where I was just sad all the time. And the only time that entire day that I felt all right was when I was teaching. And I was like, maybe that's what I have to do, keep teaching. Because I went out and I talked to clients and I felt that, they made some joke or whatever, or I made a joke with them. Because when I'm teaching, I'm not thinking about me, I'm thinking about my clients. And so my mind came off me and I felt good. I felt good for that time. So my depression isn't 24/7, but it's often. I go through a lot of sad feelings, but I'm not crying all day. Because another thing that I do, or I have been doing, is that I hide it. I tell myself I don't want to worry my children. I don't want people to think that I'm stressed out about not working, because I'm doing all right. I mean, it would be great to get consistent income, don't get me wrong. But even though I've been home since the pandemic started in Barbados, March 2020, I've been fortunate to still have a personal training studio, still being able to teach people. I also do some admin work for a couple companies. So I'm getting through. It's not like how it was, but I am getting through. And I do not want people to think I was being ungrateful, because God is blessing me. I didn't want to seem, so I hid it, and I didn't let anybody know. If the tears were going to come, I would go into the bathroom. I would close the door of my room, go in the gym and close the door. I'd always go by myself and I'd just be sad. I would tell the children sometimes if they ask, I'm sad, not having a good day. But I didn't want to be droning them with that negativity. So I kind of kept to myself, and I would keep to myself, keep all these negative feelings to myself, and I would feel nobody cared about me, nobody loved me, I'm all alone. I mean, I have 10 siblings from my mother and 3 from my dad. Addition. But I'm thinking nobody cares about me, nobody loves me. It's just me, you, God. And then I would feel something like God is punishing me. I mean, I would actually say that because of things that I've done or whatever. I just felt sad all the time. And I did not make the connection to menopause. And, I was looking forward to menopause. I wanted to stop my period for the longest time. And I mean, my period was not like a terrible thing. I had a 3-day period, 21-day cycle. But those 3 days, the first day was pain. The second day was blood. I mean blood. I would have these whooshes where the blood would come so fast and so much it would kind of just escape the pad and just run down my legs, and embarrassing because it would happen at work, it would happen at church, it would just happen. On that second day, at some point in that second day, I'm going to have a whoosh. So you can see why I was looking forward to menopause. I don't want to bleed anymore. Besides, child thing was done, and I looked forward to menopause. I had no problems with the hot flushes. When I started to feel them, I used to feel good, like bring it on, menopause. I was happy. I was glad to go through menopause. I did not know that it would have wrecked my hormones the way it did, and the depression that accompanied it, I did not expect. I didn't see coming. And I mean, and it's bad. I'm letting you know it is bad, where you don't always feel suicidal. Suicidal thoughts would cross my mind. They have crossed my mind. But more often than not, you just wish you were dead. It's like, let me die. Let me just die. And to want death more than life is a sad way to live. Anyway, finally, I got some good news yesterday. And about 10 minutes after that, I was crying. I was in the gym and I was trying to work out, and I was crying and I was sad, and I was like, what is wrong with me? I just got good news. I went to the doctor, got my checked up, clean bill of health. And it was almost as if I was saying, why am I healthy? Why can't I just be dying? Why can't things just be over? And I'm like, something is not right. I reached out then to a doctor friend, and I said, is it possible that this is menopause? Because yeah, things aren't great in my life, but they aren't that bad. Why am I so sad all the time, and I'm crying and I'm depressed? What's going on? And he was very helpful. He did put me on to a psychologist, but he was helpful. And talking, I also spoke to a friend who would not let me not talk. I didn't want to talk, but she kept pushing. And in talking about it, I realized, oh my gosh, this is the way that my body's handling menopause. This depression is the menopause. And how I was able to put the two together, how I connected the dots. Years ago, many years ago, maybe about 10 years or so, I don't know how much, but some years ago, I have fibroids, and I was having some really heavy bleeding, and the doctor was concerned that I was going to become anemic. And he said, you know what, let's just stop your period for a bit. Let me just put you in menopause, and let's see what we can do about this fibroid. And he put me on medication. I think it was called Norcolut, something like that. And it stopped my period. And of course I was like, whoa, no, period. I was happy for that. But like into month 2, he took me off because he was checking on me, and I was telling him how I was feeling, and I did gain some weight, and I didn't like that, but I figured I could train and diet. But I was so depressed. It's like I wanted to die every day. All I thought was, I wish that my life could be ended. Because yes, I have problems. We all do, right? But I felt like when I was in the menopause state that he had put me in, all I saw was the black cloud. I never saw the silver lining. I was always sad. I was always depressed. I didn't want to do anything. And the things in my life that are already bad, they just get so much worse. And it felt like I could not cope. And it was awful. And the doctor noticed it and told me, no, we need to take you off this medication. Stop right away. Don't even finish the cycle. Just stop. And when I was talking to my friend yesterday, I remember that, and I was like, oh my gosh, menopause does make my hormones go wacky. I remember when the doctors put me in menopause before, I went cray cray. So the difference now is that this is not a doctor induced menopause. This is my life now. I can't come out of it. This is it. So I need to find a way to cope with it because it's happening. And I started thinking about what over the last couple of weeks made me feel happy. And I made a list of them. The first thing that helped was fresh air. I remember one morning really early, for some reason I went outdoors. It was like 5 o'clock, but I was outside. And I took a deep breath in and I was like, oh, I felt good. The air felt clean. There was no one around. It was still. And being outdoors felt good. So to my dog's joy, I started taking some time out on mornings to just take my dog out for a walk as soon as curfew was up. I'm not breaking curfew, people. When we're allowed on the streets, I would take the dog for a walk. Not far, maybe just up the top of my gap and back, but just going out in fresh air, that made me feel better. I started doing yoga. I don't do it as often as I would like. I'm trying to get into it more, but I've started doing yoga. Not sure if it's helping, but I know it's not hurting. So I would take time. I don't do a very long practice, maybe 10-15 minutes, and I stretch and I try to close my eyes in it, like I would watch a video before to kind of see what they're going to do. Then I would play it and I would do it so I can keep my eyes closed and not have to watch the girl all the time, and breathe into the moves and relax and stretch. And I figured it's good for my muscles as I train so hard, and it's also good for my mind. So yoga has helped. Another thing that I found has helped is cardio. Now I wouldn't even say a love-hate relationship with cardio. It's a hate relationship. I don't like cardio. I don't like running. I don't like going on the cardio machines. I don't like cardio. I like lifting. I like lifting heavy weights. And I like CrossFit, apart from the running. But cardio has been making me feel better. I would do a workout because working out is important, and even though it's a struggle, I haven't stopped training. So I would go into the gym and I would train, and then I would probably put in some burpees or some skipping or 2 minutes of run on the whatever cardio aspect I put into my workout. I would realize that after that piece, the endorphin release was high and I'd feel good. So cardio has been helping me to feel better. And eating, most of the time I train fasted, but because I train early, so I go in the gym really early and I wouldn't have eaten. So I am my depression, well, it happens. So I find like if I train like a little bit later, maybe not 5, 4, 5. If I train maybe 9, I sometimes say, Kathy, just eat something. Because I would say, I'm not going to train, I'm going to eat. And when I eat, I feel better. So when I just eat something, and I guess that's because you naturally raise your serotonin levels, and serotonin is responsible for the depression, so it's a biological reason. But when you eat, and I'm not saying eat nonsense, although I'm tempted to eat nonsense. I don't always give into the temptation. I have sometimes, but I don't like to give into the temptation because I want to feel good about my body, so I don't want to fix one thing and make something else bad. So eat something good. Eating, it just makes you feel better, and that has helped. Talking is something that I didn't want to do. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want anyone to know, because I didn't know at the time that it was just a normal thing that I was going through. It was menopause related depression, but talking helped. So the fresh air, yoga, cardio, eating, and talking, those things I found has helped. Now I have made an appointment to see a psychiatrist, the one that can give you medication, because if I need to go there, I'm going there. I am not okay with being sad all day. I am not okay with crying all day. I'm not okay with not wanting to have Christmas. Christmas. Come on now. I love Christmas. But this year I didn't want to do Christmas. I'm just sad. So I made an appointment before Christmas to see someone, and I've discussed on the telephone the possibility of using medication. If I have to use medication to get me out of this time, to help me deal with the depression and the anxiety that I'm going through now, I'll do that, because I want to live. I want to live to be 120. I told my daughter that. I told my kids that. I mean, I told anybody that asks. I want to live to 120. Nice, long age. And I want to be active. I want to be moving around and still able to do stuff. And the way that I feel most days, it's not like I want to live. It's like I want to die. It's because I'm just so sad. So if that's you, if you were going through menopause and you find that you're sad, that's what it is, people. The depression happens as a result of your hormonal imbalances that occurs when your body goes through menopause. The estrogen, the progesterone, they're all going away. Things are not the way your body's accustomed to. So depression happens. Everyone doesn't go through it, but some people do. And speaking from my experience, it's bad. It's bad. But I am so thankful that I finally reached out and I spoke to someone and I was able to understand what was happening with me. I am not losing my mind. I'm just losing my youth. Yeah. So I just wanted to help someone if someone else was maybe going through something similar. Don't just be depressed. Don't just say it's normal and accept it. Do something about it, because I mean, the thoughts that have been in my head, I would hate to do something to hurt my kids, but the thoughts that has been in my head has been grim. It's been brown. It's been black. It's been awful. So once again, I'll repeat the things that I am doing to make myself feel better. I am getting fresh air. I'm doing yoga, cardio, eating. I'm talking to a therapist, so speaking, and if necessary, I'll take medication. It depends on what the therapist is. So I hope that you all, if you're going through it, get some relief. I wish you a wonderful day and be safe. Don't let this COVID thing get you. Bye.